All right, how's it looking? We're ready on both? All right. Okay, here we go. Shabbat Shalom again. We're not going to mess around too much with Kabbalat Shabbat because it's very hot, and we're going to move through this service pretty quickly. So we're just going to do one psalm. Oh, yeah, it's true. You are in the shade, huh? You're fine. Huh? All right, tell that to the front row. Okay, we're going to start with Romamu on page 12. Romamu, page 12. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. And now remember, we're going to clap instead of sing when we get to the key part. You're going to make a nice clap. That's the way we participate today, because you have to leave your masks on. You can hum, but you can't sing. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. And right to page 13, Mizmor LeDavid. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai Belim, Havul Adonai Kavod vaos, ay, Havul Adonai, Kevod Shemo Ishtachavul Adonai, Behadrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai, Al Hamayim, El HaKavod Yirim, Adonai, Hamayim Rabim, Kol Adonai, Vakoach, ay, Kol Adonai, Ve'adar Kol Adonai, Shover Arazim, Vayshaber Adonai, Et Arze Halmanon, Vayarkidem Kemo Egel, Lebanon, Ve'Sirion, Kemo ven Re'emim, ay, Kol Adonai, Chotzev lavot esh Kol Adonai, Yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yechol el ayalot, Vayechesov ye'arot, Uvehechalom, Kulo omer kavod, ay, Adonai, Lama bo yashav yeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai os le'amo yiten Adonai yevarech et amo b'shalom. Hey, ay, nay, keep clapping. Yay, nay, All right. Lecha Dodi, page 15. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Panei Shabbat Nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ושמו תפארת וריתי, לה 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 לה, לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לה 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 לה, לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. Bottom of 17. Right and left, ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי, על ידי שבין פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה, לה 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 לה, לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. We rise and face the entrance over there, welcoming the Shabbat bride. And there might even be a couple coming our way. We'll see. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. And we say to any mourners in our midst, Hamakom Menachem Echem B'tok Shravelei Tzion V'Yerushalayim, may God comfort you with all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. We may be seated. All right, and Jill, I can hear the harmony in your head, though. You know, I can feel it, I should say, because I can't actually hear it. But I can feel you doing it in your head there for the Chadodi. Page 19, Mizmor Shir. And we just had to know another person. Welcome, Shabbat bride, Elisheva Marit. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot le'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, lehagid baboker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha balelot, alei aso ve'alei navel, alei gayon bechinor. Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat, tov lehodot le'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Continue silently. Tzadika tamar yifrach, kerez balvanon yizgeh, shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu, od yenuvun beseva, Deshenim verananim yihu lehagid, Keshar Adonai tzuri velo avlatabo. Adonai malach yot lavesh, lavesh Adonai osita zarafti kon tever ba'oti mod, nachon kisachad me'az b'lamata, nasu nerot Adonai, nasu nerot kolam, Yisu nerot och yam. Mi kolod mayim, mayim rabim adirim, Mishpereyam Adir Bamarom Adonai Erotecha Ne'evnu Meod Levetecha Nava Kodesh Adonai Leorech Yamim. We rise for the Baruch Hu, call to prayer. And so sort of the fountain is east. Yala lai lai lai, 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 yala lai lai lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach, Baruch Adonai hamevorach. Le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yala lai lai lai, 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 yala lai lai lai. And we may be seated. We are on page 23. And are we still one more to come? Elizabeth has one more coming. No, she's not coming. Okay. All right, so I think we are at full capacity then. I mean, full of who's coming. All right. Page 23. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. Elchai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavita Amcha ahavita Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadta, otanu limadta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbenu, kumenu nesiach b'chukecha, v'nitzmak b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu be'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla nege Yomam v'layla Be'avatcha al tasir Mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Ohev amo Israel. Page 25. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlektecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, ve'ayulatotafot beineinecha, Uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. We continue silently, 27 through 29. Vayomer Adonai Moshe Lemor Daber B'Yisrael Him Leman Tiskeru Vasitem et Kol Mitzvotai Vitem Kedoshim Leechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Tzeitirchem Eretz Mitzrayim Liot Lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Emet Adonai Elohechem Emet Emevna Kozov V'Kayam Alin. Page 32. Umalchuto baratzon klibolehem. Moshe v'nei Yisrael chanashira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot. Osefele nora tehilot. Osefele Machutecha ra'u v'necha Vokei hayam lifnei Moshe Ze'eli anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch Le'olam va'ed Baruch ata Adonai ga'al Yisrael Mi chamocha Ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh Sheme nora tehilot Osefele nora tehilot Osefele nora tehilot Osefele Page 33. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim Ushmor tzitenu Uvoenu L'chaim u'shalom Me'ata ve'ad olam You start at home. Hashkivenu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim Fros aleinu sukat shlomecha, baruch atah Adonai, baruch sukat shalom aleinu, v'kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. We rise for V'shamru. Leave your books on your chairs if you can, because we need some clapping for this one. And it's almost impossible to clap with a book in your hand. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת דורותם ברית עולם. Remain standing for the Chatzi Kadesh. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala, ba'agala, uv'izman kari v'meru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam le'almei almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'ishtabach, Yitbar v'irman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei kudsha b'richu, le'la min kol berchata v'shirata, tushpechata v'nechemata, damiran v'alma, v'meru, amen. Private Amidah now, pages 37 through 48. Say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol v'tevel, ve'imru, amen. Hey, Yana nine 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 nine, yana nine 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 nine, yana nine nine nine, yana nine 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 nine, Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, imeru, amen. All right, so pause for a little anecdote about another prominent, important Jewish historical figure, and I've been focusing mostly on the Bay Area in recent months. And this one, some of you may have heard of, because he was one of the more colorful characters that San Francisco has ever seen, even in a city of very colorful characters. So his name was Joshua Abraham Norton, but you might know him better as the Emperor. He was born in England, and he came to in February of 1818. He came to San Francisco in his 20s, and at first he enjoyed a good deal of success in the commodities market and in real estate speculation. And by late 1852, he was one of the more prosperous, respected citizens of San Francisco. But he lost all his money with an investment in Peruvian rice. Now, I know that seems, why would somebody invest in Peruvian rice? But he had a record of good investments at the time. There were all kinds of long, protracted legal battles. And by 1859, he had become completely discontented with what he considered the inadequacies of the legal and political structures of the United States. And so on September 17, 1859, he took matters into his own hands and distributed letters to various newspapers throughout the city, proclaiming himself to be the emperor of these United States, as well as the protector of Mexico. Now, he issued decrees to abolish the U.S. Congress, calling for a meeting at Platt's Music Hall in San Francisco, and he summoned the army to depose Congress, abolishing both the Democratic and the Republican parties. He decreed that a bridge should be built from San Francisco to Oakland, an impossibly radical idea at the time. He would then walk around in the city in an elaborate blue uniform with gold-plated epaulettes and a beaver hat with a peacock feather, a cane and an umbrella, and he printed money with his picture on it. People sold souvenirs bearing his name. Newspapers made up decrees and stories about him. Probably suffered from mental illness in all seriousness, and he was definitely penniless. But although we look at it and people were poking fun at him and viewed him as off his rocker, they also loved him, and he was cared for by residents of the city. He was humored, and at his funeral, 10,000 people lined the streets of San Francisco. From what I understand, the king in Mark Twain's Huckleberry Finn was modeled after him. And there is still a movement to name what is now the Willie Brown Bridge after Emperor Norton. And so there's monuments, there are various plaques in the city dedicated to him. Quite a character. So, and again, I'm not making any endorsements. Perhaps we'll have a vice president that hails from San Francisco, but we had an emperor for sure at one time. So, Joshua Abraham, Emperor Norton. All right, I should do the Kaddish Shalem. Probably should have done it earlier, but I'm going to do it now instead. Yikarav yikarav shemei Rabbah. Ve'almad yivrach yirutei v'mlichmachutei b'chayachon v'yamachon v'chayachon Beit Yisrael. B'galav izman kari v'imeru. Amen. Yahei shmei Rabbah mevorach. Le'olam u'lam me'omaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'ishtabach. Yitbarach v'ram v'naseh. V'tadar v'teleh v'telal shmei kudsha b'rechu. Le'olam min kol berchata v'shirata. Tishbchata v'nechemata. Damiram v'yama v'imeru. Amen. Tikabal, Sloton, Voton, the Israel, Kodama Bohondi Vishmaya Vimeru. Amen. Ishlam Rab Min Shemai, Vachimel Vako Israel Vimeru. Amen. Ose Shalom Bimrama, Huyase Shalom. Alinu Vel Ko Israel, Vel Ko Ishvetevel Vimeru. Amen. Now, if your children are here, which in at least 3 families' cases are, if you want to put your hands on their heads now, we're going to offer the blessing of the children. And I don't know if Nathaniel can hear me, but if you can put your hand on Levi's. Oh, there he is. So Levi's getting some water. You can get him on his way back. For males, we say, Simcha Elohim k'Ephraim v'chi Menashe. Females, Yisimech Elohim k'Sara, Rivka Rachel v'Leah. For everyone, Yivarecha Adonai v'Yishmerecha, Yer Adonai panav elecha v'Yichuneka, Yisad Adonai panav elecha v'Yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May God lift the divine face toward you and grant you peace. And I want to do another thing for the children tonight as well, but you can stay at your seats. We have 3 families here who brought children of varying ages and various stations in life. And people have either started last week or starting this week or starting the week after school. And it includes my own son Micah in Ohio and Jonah locally here in Piedmont. We know that we have Renan and Matan are starting CCJDS in a couple weeks, I guess. Or we have Micah, not my Micah, but Daryl and Bryna's Micah, who is just dropped off to start at Emory University in Atlanta. Avra's going back to Bates in Maine, where she's going to be an RA, from what I understand. And I think Henry and Isla, you're both at the Athenian School, I'm guessing, right, at this point? So starting the Athenian School, we have Augie's here starting at Sequoia, or started at Sequoia on Monday, and Levi starting at Gan Avraham on Monday. So to all of you, may you have a blessed year. Everyone be very patient. It's not going to go like any other year of your life, but everyone's doing the best we can. And we're going to say Shechianu for the starting of the school year. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. We rise for the Aleinu, page 57. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzev reshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, vanachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Shehu note shamayim veyoser haaretz, umoshev yekaro v'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo, begov emiromim, hu Eloheinu einod, emet malkeinu efes zulato, kakatu betorato, v'datayom ve'ashevota, elevavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, Bashamayim mima'al, v'ha'aretz, mitachat enod. Kakatu v'torah techanayim loch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol ha'aretz, v'yom ha'hu. Bayom hahu yehiyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. We may be seated as we lovingly recall the memories of those whose yortzites are observed during the coming week in our community, thinking especially today of Toba Bernstein, who I understand was the first adult female bat mitzvah here at the synagogue. Sylvia Davis, Richard Felton, Bessie Gerber, Eileen Grossman, Jacqueline Helfand, Sylvia Hyman, Fanny Kessler, Matilda Kramer, Max Cushman, John Landowitz, Rose Lurch, Reuben Lurch, Minnie Leeson, Harry Levitch, Jonathan Lisker, Ruth Mintz, Donald Paulson, Avraham Pincus, Edith Poland, Solomon Rabinowitz, Arthur Michael Ross, Arthur Roth, Robert Rothman, Esther Schecht, Ruben Semendoff, Sandra Shapiro. We're in the Shloshim for Sarah Dickman, George Lindenbaum, and Judith Kay. And we are in the Shiva for Kay Warren. Kay was a very active member of our congregation at one time, and not inactive now. She was also, she was very involved with the Women of TBA, was either president or treasurer of Hadassah for 17 years running. She was the librarian at the synagogue, painstakingly putting checkout cards in every book we had in the library. I don't think a single one of them was ever checked out, but still, she did all that, which was wonderful. And she was just a great person, a calm, wonderful presence, a lover of Israel and Zionism, and took amazing care of her husband, Welch, who will miss her terribly. We will too. May Kay's memory be a blessing. May all their memories be a blessing. We ask all those who are in mourning or observing Yortzeit, as well as anyone else who would choose to do so, to rise for the mourner's Kaddish at this time. Say it along with us if you're at home, if you would like. Page 61. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'alma divrach Yerutei v'amlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayechol Beit Yisrael b'galav v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mivorach leolam v'almei almaya yitbarach v'ishtabach v'itpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kudsha v'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha. May the memory of the people you are saying Kaddish for be a blessing to you always. Our thoughts are especially with you tonight, Daryl and Odette and Steve, who are here with us to say Kaddish. Amen. We can be seated. Some announcements. Tomorrow, Bar Mitzvah, Hayden Garfinkel, our first live COVID-19 outdoor, socially distanced Bar Mitzvah. You might have even seen some camera shots. There are 3 tables and stations here today, and that is because we are having 3 different stations. One for me, one for Susan Simon, the teacher, and also one of the Torah readers, and the other for Hayden, who will be reading Torah. We're very excited. Big mazel tov to Hayden, great kid. And it's going to be fabulous. Tomorrow night, Havdalah stream from my house. The theme, musical theme, post Havdalah will be Hebrew or Jewish songs with blessings in them. Okay, so figure it out. One of them you're going to hear tonight already. So let's see, what else do we have? And we've got we've got Gan Avraham starting this week. Amazing. Cannot believe it. We're doing it. And what else do we have? What do we got? Sunday night. Yes, we've got our important adult education panel. Black Jews of Temple Beth Abraham sharing their stories. 2 of them happen to be here tonight, so thank you. They can't see. So anyway, we appreciate their boldness to be on the panel. And actually, you know, it's going to be fabulous. I'm good friends with all of them, honestly, so can't wait to hear what they have to say, really. Or at least, you know, I think I am. You bring me wine, so I got to be doing something right? Okay. Anyway, we're going to have some, it's going to be educational. Will it be fun? It'll be fun. It could also be painful. We'll see. You know, it's going to be what it's going to be. And that's Sunday night, 7:30, only via Zoom. And it's only for members of the congregation, and guests that the panelists invited. Okay. So, what you just want to send the link again? Is that what you said? The link's gone out several times, including in Reina's This Week at TBA today, most recently. So you can find it in there. Next Friday night, I believe Hazanit Yael will actually be leading the service with me, or really leading the service. I'll be like over there on the, you know, just telling the story. And next Saturday, Tamar Brinus will join us leading Shacharit, one of our teens. And the following Saturday, Jojo is becoming bar mitzvah. Yes, Joseph Blumberg, he'll be having an outdoor live COVID bar mitzvah right here. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. I've exhausted the announcements. Put my foot in my mouth a few times, perhaps. Who knows? But we're lots going on here, and that is exciting. All right, so this last song I'm going to do, you don't know, I don't think anyway. If Debbie Barish were here, she'd know it. I can't put a 70s, 80s Hebrew song past her. But still, maybe Stacey Howard, but it was very much a Reform movement song. It's called Livracha velo leklala, for the blessing and not for the curse. And that's because tomorrow's Torah portion, Re'eh, begins that way. Look, see, I have set before you a blessing and a curse. So that's what this song is. Livracha velo leklala. And the words come not only from this parsha, but actually from the prayer that we say for the new month, and also at when we do the prayer for rain and the prayer for dew at Sukkot, or the Shmini Atzeret and Pesach. So I'm doing it tonight. I'll do it tomorrow. By tomorrow, you might sort of know it. Livracha velo liklala, lisova velo lirazon, livracha velo liklala. Lechaim velo lemavet, lechaim, lechaim velo lemavet, lechaim, lechaim. Livracha velo liklala, lisova velo lirazon, livracha velo liklala. Livracha velo liklala, lisova velo lirazon, livracha velo liklala, livracha, livracha, livracha. Shabbat Shalom.